I'm home.
I'm in here.
Oh.
I've done a sandwich for you. It's in the kitchen.
Oh. Tar.
Well, it's nothing to worry about.
No, I wasn't saying. Nick, I've been thinking about Eddie Royal all morning. I can't seem to get him out of my mind.
What good does thinking do?
Him and that pretty Irish girl, they was going to get married. Did you know that?
Yeah, you told me.
I wish you'd tell the police what you know.
I know it must be difficult for you to remember, Nick, but I want you to go over the events of that night in your mind, slowly and carefully. I want you to relive that night for me.
Yes, go on, think, Nick. I was just wondering if you wanted sugar in your tea.
Yeah, 2 for me, none for the boss.
Yeah, right.
It's very important, Nick. Vitally important that you tell me everything you know.
I've told you already.
Perhaps you've forgotten something.
No, I ain't.
Perhaps being up in that room again might jog your memory. It's very important, Nick, that we find out who killed Eddie Royal.
Okay.
Good view of the square. Not much going to pass you by when you was locked up in here.
Did you spend much time looking out the window, Nick? Did you?
Well, much else to do.
Bet you could write a book about the things you saw.
Never been one for writing things down.
There's that geezer from next door. The old bloke, what's his name?
I don't know.
Well, you must know the name of the bloke who lives next door. It's the old guy, the one with grey hair.
Oh, Jules. I think his name's Jules.
That's right, Jules. He's looking up here. I wonder why he's doing that. Do you know why he's doing that?
No idea.
Funny, that.
Where did you see that night, Nick? The night that Eddie was murdered?
Can't remember.
Well, I think you can remember. You know, I can't help thinking you're not telling us something. Either, for some reason best known to yourself, you're not telling us what you saw that night, or else you weren't in this room at all. Maybe you managed to get out. Did you manage to get out?
He was locked in. I told you he couldn't get out. He was in here all night, definitely. Here's your tea. Put it down here, shall I?
What about me?
Didn't think you want one.
Thank you, Mrs. Cotton.
Yes, right. Believe me, even Houdini couldn't have got out of this room.
I know how you feel, Nick. No one likes to grass on a mate.
I ain't got no mates round here.
But a man is dead, Nick. A bloke who was as alive as you and me. He had a girlfriend. He was going to get married. A man with hopes, plans for the future. He's dead. No future. Now that's serious, Nick. We're talking about murder. Things don't come much more serious than that now, do they?
All right. I'll tell you what I saw. It was after closing time. I'd watch them all come out the pub. Did the same thing every night. High spot of the night, you know. Pathetic, eh? 10 or 15 minutes later, he come out the pub.
Who came out the pub?
Eddie, and that stupid poodle. He come out the pub, crossed the road, and went into the square. Then when I got a fag, I used to keep him over there. I lit it. I think I looked at the paper for a bit, then I went back to the window. I couldn't see Eddie and that poodle no more, but it was this bloke, and he was leaning over something. It looked like a pile of rags, and then he stood up, and he had something in his hand. He wiped it, and then I saw it was a knife. He dropped the knife, and then he ran away. Well, until the next day I realised that weren't no pile of rags. It was him, Eddie Royal.
The bloke with the knife. Was it someone you know?
Look, I didn't see him kill him. I just saw him stand up and wipe the knife.
Was it someone you know?
Yeah, I know him.
Who was it, Nick? Nick, who was it?
Clyde Tavernier. It was Clyde Tavernier.
You're quite sure?
The light was on his face. It was him, all right.
Good.
But I never saw him kill him.
We're going to bring Tavernier in. Call up a couple of cars. Tell them to keep it quiet. We don't want alarm bells ringing too early next door, do we?
Okay.